an accident. Something stopped there in the front.
Red flag, red flag, red flag.
And he stops on track, look, can't go any further than that.
No.
Chassis, it's gone. We're out, we're finished then. Oh, we have a spare car.
Forget it, I mean, it's done. It makes no sense to think, I should do that, I'm the idiot or whatever.
Michael, I know it's hard, right? But chin up.
Yeah.
And the car is there.
Yeah.
And it will be there. And we're in this and it's good. Don't, honestly, fuck it.
Now all the negative things that could go in my mind start to ramp up in all the wrong ways. You know, confidence is going to be shot now for sure. How do I build up the confidence and the time left to do it?
It's impossible to imagine what's going through his head or what it has to feel like going back to the track the next day.
Welcome back to the Circuit de la Sarre 3 Practice 3 about to get underway. We had some dramas yesterday evening, gentlemen.
Michael Fassbender, and a pretty scary moment for him.
He comes in, have one new set, full fuel, you can go.
No lap time, nothing. Just go there, get a feel for it again.
Yesterday it didn't happen. Forget, really forget.
I'm now like starting to feel the big question marks over me. What I'm gonna do in my stints and where my head's at.
I mean, that's always a difficult situation after you've experienced such an accident, but you've got to try and be able to move on and focus on the remainder of the job at hand.
End of the session then, flag is out, cars heading back to the pits.
It was awful. I remember I just, again, like struggled with everything. I'm starting to, just allow all the negative sort of headspace to be dominating my mind. And in the car, I'm not present in the car, I'm not driving, I'm outside of it. Looking down on myself, judging myself, and worst possible, scenario. When I got behind those cars, everything felt so fucking light in the front, and I was like, Jesus, where do I brake? How do I fucking manage this?
You struggled in terms of what?
Just trying to get the temps back up in the tires, and just knowing how hard to press the brake, just how to drive basically. Everything just fucking fell apart. Now I'm starting to overthink everything, Don't overshoot that chicane again. Find the braking distance, but then I'm braking too early. I lost kind of the ability to drive.
More or less after the session, he was in a worse mindset than he was the day before, and we had to restart and go over the whole situation again. Definitely the lowest point of the entire weekend, and trying to pull him out of this was so difficult because you could not talk to him, you could not really approach him, and this was always going to be really difficult with, how emotional he was at that time.
The ability to do it is in your memory bank. Your instincts have you doing what the right thing. But then now we're overruling our instincts because we have this, fuck, there's a car, fuck, there's a blue flag, which, again, I'm not faulting that thought process.
So I think tonight you just need exactly the same approach as you did at the start of this session, and then just get used to the night. That's it. Like I said, we don't expect anything different or more from you tonight. We want you to do the same job and not overthink these little things that add up,
Now it's like, okay, we have one practice left. What are we going to do?
For Michael, it was just trying to more or less get through the laps, not focus on anything, not think about lap times, not think about what's happened, and try and move on because now it had been long enough, and the race was coming around very quickly, and this was the last opportunity before he jumps in the race.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to the Circuit de la Sarre for the 90th edition of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's free practice 4, and this is the last real opportunity for teams to get their setup sorted for our weekend's race.
93 crew, we go out with the hunting car, we just check the car. Car is better. I think you're okay, you can box. Yeah, copy that.
all our problems were solved. The car balance was actually really, really nice, and everything was going to plan. Everything was feeling really, really good in the car, and then we were able to swap drivers straight away.
And it's better.
It's good. A lot more front everywhere. So it's very good.
Yeah, good.
Only thing you need to just keep in mind is the braking, not to be smacking it. But other than that, car is really good. So just get used to the night, get comfortable. That's it.
Black box. You have a changed up, Michael. Copy box.
Michael Fassbender.
We haven't seen as much of him as perhaps we should have done, although, and all for the wrong reason.
This is the moment where he climbs back in Proton Competition Porsche and belts himself in with the aid of the driver helper as well.
Michael, here, check 1, 2, 3. Jerk.
Yeah, this is tense times, isn't it? I mean, it weighs on your mind, no matter if you're an AM driver or a pro. Moment of truth. He struggled with the car on the brakes. We heard his radio message after his crash yesterday.
Just do 4 5 laps, easy, no sweat.
Michael gets through the corner, which bit him hard yesterday. It's good to see.
LMP2 closing from the back. One more LMP2 behind you. He's doing like again like 5-6 laps. Driving very solid at the moment.
You know, another 3/10 in first sector.
Michael, box.
Michael, first of all, it's great to see nice smiles on your face again. It looks like you enjoyed that stint in the car.
Yeah, it was nice to get a bit of time on the track, and I was consistent. Consistently slow, but at least consistent. Nice to get out at night. Obviously that was compromised yesterday by my mistake, so yeah, just getting back on track, trying to, you know, build up some seat time again, some confidence.
He definitely made a step, was a little bit in a better mindset, you know, for sure still nowhere near where he needs to be and where he was, but at least it was going in the right direction slightly after the night session.
You know, this was a step in the right direction again, so it was a positive test. And then, you know, I am taking this approach of you're going to learn the track as you're driving it in the race. There's a lot of time. You're going to be on the track for 6 hours. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. It's been like, I haven't been like that in a long time.
No, I haven't seen you like that. That's why I told you, just like, I don't like it if you're like that.
The earlier session today was awful.
Why?
Oh man, I just got so overwhelmed, man.
You have to get rid of these feelings.
Yeah, I know, I don't know what's happening. I felt like I just started again. It was awful. But the last night session was good. I mean, I'm still slow, but consistently slow.
Forget this. You have to stay on the track. Between the lines?
I'm getting a little overwhelmed here, man.
Why?
I don't know. So much going on. The press, everything, you know, it's like, it's heavy. Driver's parade, it took me aback, you know, it's sort of like, I never really experienced that, you know.
Yeah, I mean the parade is always one of the coolest parts of the weekend for sure.
I guess, you know, I've gone to premieres and there's been fans there, but this was different. They were just sort of like crazy in all the best ways.
It was also a nice reset, you know, on our day off to be able to do this. I knew going into the parade that it can be a really good thing for him mentally, and you could see his mood start to change pretty quickly. You know, he started to enjoy it, soak it up, and was only a good thing for us going into the race weekend.
Knowing that Michael is dreaming of this day basically since 3-4 years. Knowing that the preparation, the last days weren't the best. I mean, I knew he's going to be nervous.
At some point we both knew that this is the moment that we have been dreaming of for such a long time, and you get closer to the track and you already hear the noise from the fans.
Right here, dude. It's crazy.
It's more than I expected it to be, because now it was actual reality and it wasn't a dream anymore.
Welcome everyone to the Le Mans 24 Hours. Are absolutely full with crowds.
Such a momentous occasion to be a part of this as a driver, standing on the grid or sitting in your car, and you see the fans in the grandstand, you can hear them, and you just realize at this stage of the proceedings that this is getting serious. This is an important race. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, single day event motor races in the world, and it's an honor, it's a privilege, and you never forget it.
And so just tell us, with a few hours before you jump in the car, how do you feel?
I feel nervous and just really trying to concentrate on conserving my energy and go through the usual process that I have before starting a race. The main thing for me, I think, you know, because we had some setbacks during the week, is to just, you know, treat each session as a learning experience, get more time on the track, more experience, and you know, stay out of trouble.
Thank you, enjoy.
none of them is here because of us or you. It's only the race, it's not us.
It just doesn't matter.
Just do your stuff.
Have a good one, dude.
I do honestly believe, I really believe the start of this motor race is the best in the world.
It's been a few years where we haven't had this kind of atmosphere, Graham. It feels so good to be back.
Down they come. It's been a feature of the Le Mans 24 Hours for many years now, and a very popular one with the fans. And they're getting a literal grandstand view of this. Flag is handed over.
5-minute board on the grid. Under 5 minutes to start the formation lap of the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Start our engine, less than 1 minute to go.
30 seconds, under 30 seconds to start the formation lap. Start of the formation lap. Start of the formation lap. We have started the formation lap for the 90th edition of the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
It is, always has been, always will be a truly world-class event.
Please ask drivers to minimize the gaps.
We're coming up to 4 o'clock local time here in Le Mans.
Not a minute to go to grid position, so grid position.
Are absolutely full with crowds as we start now to get the formation 2 by 2. The cars will be slowed down and they'll make their way through the Porsche curve. Be careful to thread your way through here. It's tight, it's twisty. You're very close quarters with the rest of the field.
Best of luck, all of you. Here we go. Le Mans 2022 is on.
GT cars to grid positions, GT cars to grid positions. You should be in grid positions at this stage.
Green flag, no one's taking the home line.
I mean, this is so busy in the LMP2 category, going over the line. We saw them fall wide, and then the circuit goes a little bit to the right-hand side. This is where Will Owen is in the gravel trap. Sophia Flörsch looks like she's on tarmac, so she can get the car moving again, and she can get herself back to pit lane, but I'm afraid for the 22 United car, it could well be game over there. We can see a little bit of damage, and I'm sure we'll take a look once everything settles down. But it's getting very
close quarters with each other, and look how the LMP2 field has caught up to the tail of the hypercars on this first stretch down the Mulsanne.
Into the first chicane.
Slow zone 1 has been activated.
That is terrible luck.
How did I think he might have been going around the outside and has just been run out of road.
Slow zone 1 has been removed.
Track is free, track is free. Go big.
I expect this to be a race-long fight. They're so closely matched.
we've got the idiot.
Getting sprayed up in front of our windscreen, riding on board the Porsche there.
Is the plan still be next?
Yes, yeah. We plan to do 12 laps, so in 2 laps we should be in.
We were able to pick quite a few cars off. We had really good speed, good pace, even amongst the other Porsches around us, and yeah, we were able to make the most of our bad situation starting off the back, so we were able to improve our position and move up the field.
The plan was always to put Matt in the car first, to try to find a good spot on track, have the first crazy moments basically done, and then the plan was to put Michael in for a double stint.
Is it a bit hard out there for me to be going next?
To go next? No, it's gonna be fine. Just do your thing.
Seeing Matt out there and his pace was incredible. It really showed that the car was perfect. I think he was one of the fastest guys out there.
Crew, we've got his left, full fuel, driving chase, Michael in car.
Michael Fassbender looks like he's getting ready to take over in the number 93 car.
So just be careful, there's a lot of aero wash, so just expect behind the car you'll feel that lifting, okay?
To come in this lap, we heard that Fassbender will be taking over the 93.
Gonna tight. 105, on slot 105, nice.
In comes, as we heard, Matt Campbell. Fassbender springs into action.
Interesting that we heard Matt Campbell saying be careful in traffic, so obviously the aerodynamic wash of the cars that he's following affecting the way that that car then feels if you're closely following, for instance, through the Porsche curves.
Yeah, huge moment this for Michael Fassbender.
A culmination of 3 years of preparation in Carrera Cups and Super Cups, then in the LMS.
Yeah, absolutely, and with, you know, already with some podium finishes against quality ambition to his name, but I'm sure the nerves are jangling absolutely massively now. This is the first opportunity to show what he's got in the big race he's been aiming for.
The most important thing was that Michael does his first double stint without any mistakes, so that he could actually, you know, find his rhythm and also be, you know, self-confident. And at that time, he was out there with almost only pros. Not a lot of bronze drivers were in the car at that point. It was always clear that he would lose some positions, but it wasn't really bad because we knew he's racing against much faster guys out there. And the most important thing was to get through his stint clean.
Michael, all other cars have the Pro, so just find your own rhythm and do your stint. Okay.
We're only 2 seconds off the best he's done. I think that's pretty good.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
You're doing well, so keep the rhythm. Very good.
4036. That's his fastest lap time so far, right? Overall.
2 laps to go. 2.
He's gonna stay in or he stays in?
He will box this lap. He will box this lap. Box. Stay in car. Coming down now. Right, we change tires, I got the 4, that's the goal, 4. Copy.
Just lost the rear on the braking, doesn't hit anything.
That car can be put back onto the tarmac.
Right, so box just up. Right, check 1, 2, 3. Copy.
Michael drove like an incident-free first stint. This means that he's back to, you know, where he needs to be mentally. The pace wasn't incredible when he was out there, but in a long race, you know, you have so much track time. We'll chip away at the lap times.
It's just insane, man. The traffic's crazy.
Well, you've done your first 2 stints. I guess now just rest, have something to eat.
I think we're in quite a good situation considering where we had come from earlier in the race weekend. So it was a really positive start after what had occurred.
We knew that Matt and Zach gonna fight back and, you know, try to gain some positions again. Obviously, being one of the fastest drivers out there, it was super promising.
We didn't want me going out at dusk. We waited till it was going to be completely dark before I start my session. I was kind of looking forward to doing the night session. I was looking forward to it because I was proud of myself, I guess, that I was taking the full-on challenge of Le Mans. You know, not many of the bronze drivers were, certainly in our garage. Chris was going out, and then the rest of the drivers were opting out. And I'm pretty proud of that, considering everything that happened leading up to the race, that I, you know, stuck with that plan and really embraced the idea of experiencing it in its full capacity.
Driver change.
Just stay on the racing line and just focus 2 stints, and then you have a break again. Stay below the limit for you and try to find consistency, but just not to take too many risks and stay on the racing line.
I mean, if we continue like this, it's top 10.
Crew, 2 laps to go, 2.
Michael is ready?
Yeah. We have box, box.